Good evening, I'm Roger Jolly and this is Pirate News Network. Tonight, brazen attacks on multiple ships reported near the salvage yard on Daymar in the Crusader system. We've acquired hacked Moby-Glass footage from the aggressor's ship and have confirmed the identity of the pilot to be that of Wardog, a known member of the pirate group Chaos Squad. Comms were taken down, but our techs have managed to clean up the footage, so we'll pull it up full screen for your viewing pleasure. Our pirate first comes across a caterpillar piloted by, appropriately named, Major Lee Screwed. The caterpillar was laden with the drug known as Widow, one of the many narcotics that plague the Stanton system and have caused an increase in crime that the UEE are having difficulty dealing with. Once valuables were confirmed on board, Wardog engaged. The caterpillar, with no turret gunners on board, proved no match for the much nimbler Mantis, and eventually attempted an emergency landing. Hammered with unrelenting cannon fire, this proves a futile effort as Major Lee and his caterpillar are disabled a few moments after landing. Surprisingly, while Wardog was preparing to board the caterpillar, a second target appeared nearby. Needless to say, this greedy pirate decided to investigate and found a Constellation Andromeda piloted by Captain Julian II. Upon scanning the second target, Wardog confirmed that the Constellation was carrying a load of SLAM and had no turret gunners. Once again, our pirate engaged, knowing that the normally formidable Constellation Andromeda is no match for the highly maneuverable Mantis if the Andromeda's turrets are unmanned. After a short but decisive engagement, the Constellation exploded in a ball of fire and fell swiftly to the surface. This, however, is not the end of our would-be drug smuggler. The Constellation pilot, Julian II, exited their ship and rushed toward our pirate in a fit of space rage. Unfortunately, the human skeleton is no match for the stopping power of the FL-33 cannons. A valiant effort. Wardog touched down to mark the area for future cargo recovery. After leaving himself a savvy tracking beacon and scooping up the remains of Julian II, our pirate headed back to the scene of the first crime where he spotted Major Lee Screwed, returned in a C2 Hercules Starlifter. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, even the mighty C2 can be easily dispatched by a solo Mantis if it lacks any turret gunner protection. And so, Wardog did what Wardog does, and the result is very similar. Major Lee Screwed attempted another emergency landing, but misjudged his speed, and instead fully embodies his name as he became one with the surface of Daymar. The action doesn't stop there. Heading back to the salvage yard from the Hercules wreck site, Wardog spotted another constellation. This time, a Taurus, but again with an unmanned turret. Scanning reveals no valuable cargo on board. Undeterred, our pirate demanded an extortion, which Captain Puggles denied, and so began the dance, but with no turret fire, the Constellation is easily outmatched by the Mantis. After a short, one-sided battle, Captain Puggles is destroyed, and Wardog remains a menace to Daymar. Returning to Brio's breaker yard yet again, Julian II had returned in an Anvil Arrow light fighter. If ever there were a ship to put an end to our pirate's rampage, this would be it. Our pirate, unfazed, engaged the Arrow. The Mantis cannon rounds connected with precision on the initial approach, but the Arrow would not be so quickly undone and returned salvos of its own. After an aggressive back-and-forth engagement, a second ship is spotted in the fray, the notorious battle cutter piloted by Captain Tig. Wardog switched his focus to the cutter and made quick work of it, allowing full attention to be, once again, placed on the Arrow. The Arrow, perhaps in a last-ditch desperation effort, attempted to ram our pirate not once but twice. The second ram proved to be the Arrow's demise. Having cleared out the rabble, our pirate headed to nearby Seraphim Station, where he swapped ships to a Mercury Star Runner. Arriving back at the initial Caterpillar wreck, an F-8C Lightning heavy fighter piloted by Artemis-1 can be seen patrolling above the salvage yard. Quick thinking leads to our pirate employing the heavy fighter as overwatch for 50,000 credits. The sale of Widow from the Caterpillar nets our pirate a hefty sum of 1.233 million credits. Sadly, the slam from the Constellation Andromeda was gone by the time Wardog was able to return to it. In closing, I believe that the greatest takeaway from this one-man show is this: ships with turrets should man those turrets. Protect yourself and your profits. Until next time, for Pirate News Network, I'm Roger Jolly.